Hello, everyone. Nick here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this live. Well, I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late. I know I said I wanted to come on every Tuesday around, I don't know, like 5 p.m. Mountain Time, but I got home from work and I seen the old lady sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go get something to eat. So I took the old lady out to dinner, and so I'm running a little bit late, but I'm here. I figure I'll do a little unboxing. I did order some stuff. I know everybody went crazy on the what am I trying to say, on the Black Friday sales, and Cyber Mondays, and I didn't go crazy. I said I wasn't going to order anything, but with all the deals, I mean, how can you not? There's some things. Sorry, excuse all the noise. It's 5 p.m. here Mountain Time, and everybody's getting home from work. It's always loud around here. But anyway, like I said, there's some stuff that I wanted to get, and with all the deals, I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the trigger, and I'm going to get it. There's some stuff that I've really, really been wanting, and some stuff that caught my eye, and some stuff that seemed really interesting to me. And I'll tell you about them when I start unboxing them. Um, but yeah, let me grab my knife here. I actually do have a razor blade here, this stainless steel razor blade. I actually took this out of a shavette. I think I got a vintage shavette. Um, I can't remember where it's at or what it's called, but anyway, I took this out of a vintage shavette here, and so if this little tiny knife not sharp enough, I'll use this razor from the shavette. And but what I'm gonna open up first is this little package here. This is a very interesting little package here that I have. I'll show you what these are. Actually, I think these were on back order because I've been waiting for these for like 3 weeks. But these are the Tatra razor blades. And I don't know if you've heard anything about the Tatra razor blades. I actually just learned about them. Yeah, guy's out there racing himself. Sorry for the noise back there. Everybody's getting home. It sounds like everybody's racing home. But anyway, here's the package opened up here, these Tatra blades. So if you've never heard anything about these Tatra blades, the reason I picked them up was because I have a lot of seasoned wet shavers. A lot of seasoned wet shavers are telling me that these Tatra blades are self-adjusting. I mean, let me know. Too Fast, Too Furious. Hey, brother, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing real good. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I said I wanted to do this at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. It's a little later. I got home. The old lady was sitting there, so I took her out to have dinner, and I'm just getting back. And I was looking at the time. I was like, oh, man, I'm running late. I'm supposed to go live at 5 o'clock. But, yeah, sometimes things happen. But I was talking about these. That's what I'm waiting for. All right on. Phil Luck. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. So here's the Tatra blades that I've been waiting for. I've waited for these for a long time. I'm super excited to get these because I have a lot of seasoned traditional wet shavers that are telling me that these razor blades are self-adjusting. If you've ever used these, let me know. What 1:30 a.m., 1:23 a.m. Poland time. Oh, well, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate it. That's early in the morning. But so what they mean about these Tatra blades being self-adjusting is they tell me that if you put these Tatra razor blades inside of a really mild razor, like for example the Merkur 34C, it makes it more aggressive. And I'm really interested in that because I always put a feather blade in my Merkur. I always shim the blade to give it a little more gap to make it more aggressive. And so these are allegedly supposed to make them a little more aggressive. If you put these in a really aggressive razor like the Mula R41, it's supposed to make it more mild. And that's what they mean about these Tatra blades being self-adjusting. Wilkinsons, I hear a lot about the Wilkinsons. I actually think I got some. I've got so many blades that I just pick up here and there, and I stash them in this little Mula leather carrying case that I have. I actually need to go through them and see if I have any of those. I think I do, but I'm not positive. There's just so much stuff in there. 7 o'clock blades, personas. There's just so much stuff in there. I really don't know what I have in there. But yeah, I'm going to shave with these real soon. I'll record that and then I'll publish it to my channel. Yeah, Dorcos are also really, really good. I hear nothing but good things about the Wilkinson and the Dorcos. So, yeah, I don't think I have any Dorcos, but uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have any, but I'll have to check. Like I said, I don't really know what I have in there, but I know I have a lot. But these Tatras, I've been waiting a long time. I've been waiting like 3 weeks for these Tatras, and now that I have them, yeah, I'm super excited. You know what I think I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the Merkur 34C and the Mula R41, and I'm gonna put a Tatra blade in both of those razors, and then I'll do a shave at the same, not at the same time, but I'll do one half of my face with one, and then the other half with the other one, and see see if it's true. Everyone's telling me that yeah, that's true. That these Tatra blades are self-adjusting. They'll make a mild razor more aggressive, and they'll make a really aggressive more mild. So I'm actually going to put that to the test and see if that is true. But yeah, I'm super happy to have these Tatra blades. If you've used them before, let me know. Yeah, because I'm really excited to have these. Key Tip Tone 4515. Hello, brother. How are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So I'm going to open, I've got this little package here. This is my first time doing an unboxing. I've never done an unboxing before, but I figured, what the heck? I'm not going to shave, so might as well do an unboxing. Like I said, a lot of people went crazy with the Cyber Monday and Black Friday, and I didn't go really crazy. I bought a couple of things. I bought an Ollieworks. I bought the whole set. I bought the razor, all the plates, and I bought the brush and everything. So I'm waiting for that to come in. I did go to Common Sense and I bought like 10 of their scents, and then I got some stuff from PAA and the Tatra blades. So I didn't go crazy. I did buy some stuff, but I didn't go super crazy. Oh, you're welcome for the heads up on the Tatra blades. Yeah, I keep hearing a lot of stuff about them, and they, the guys that I'm talking to, they're asking me, "Have you gotten them Tatras yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't even ordered it." And they were like, "Bro, you've got to order them, man. Don't wait, just order them." So I ended up ordering them. Like I said, I think they were on back order because it took like 3 weeks for them to get here. I've been anticipating them. So I'm going to open this box up right here. I know what this is already. But, oh yeah, so I got the cube here. I don't have a cube. And I always see wet shavers using these cubes here. Oh man, let me see if I can turn this ringer off, because there we go. I forgot to turn the ringer off. And you know what? I started recording and I wasn't even ready to record. I just hit record and I don't even have my microphone or anything hooked up. Okay, so there we go. Super iridiums are my mild razors, and Derby Green and my more aggressive razors. Also like the Stranglets from PAA. Okay, yeah, I got a bunch of those PAAs also, and to be honest with you, I've never used them. I have them, but I just haven't used them before. And but like Matt Pasarsic, of course, Tobin Fetters. I mean, a lot of people talk about the PAA blades, and yeah, they sound like they're really good. Were they made? I don't know. Let's see if it even says on here. Platinum premium stainless blades. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, I'm not really sure. That's something I'll have to look up. I'm not sure where they're made. I know somebody was asking me if I was sure I was getting the Tatras and not the Tataras. And the Tataras I know are made in Japan. That's a Japanese blade. But the Tatras, I'm not really sure where the Tatras are made. But I just hear so many good things about it, and they're actually pretty aggressive on, hey, bro, you got to get them. So I got them, and I'll use them. So like I said, the cube, I ordered the cube from PAA. I know that a lot of guys use this, and I hear this formula super, super slick. And so I just wanted to get it. This is the black cube here. And I use a lot of shave oil. As far as I use shave oil for pre-shave, and I do have like the Club Empanade, not the Club Empanade, but the Paraso pre-shaves, the eucalyptus and menthol. I've got the sandalwood and the unscented pre-shave. And so this will be the first pre-shave, the real pre-shave that I'm going to use from a different company. Like I said, I use the leaf shave oil is pre-shave. That's really not pre-shave. And then this is what I was really excited about. Yeah, I was really excited about this bay rum because I used a bay rum when I first got into traditional wet shaving, which was like even 11 months ago. I really haven't been doing this for a long time, but I used unscented shave soap and I used Clubman Panade Bay rum, and that was not for me. I did not like it. Oh, the tatchers are made in the Czech Republic. Okay, cool. Huh, interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. I wouldn't have guessed that at all. Truth, it's better homemade. Yeah, I bet. So the bay rum, what really turned me off about the bay rum was the clove inside the bay rum. It was not for me. Like I said, I shaved with unscented shave oil, and I used the Club and Panade bay rum, and I put it on, and yeah, I was like, whoa, there is something about this that I am not digging it. I don't like it. I won't put it on again. I considered going to the restroom and washing it off, but I didn't. I muscled through it, but I didn't like it. And so at that point, I was like, I don't like bay rum. Bay rum's not for me, which is really weird because it's really popular. It's always been popular. Yeah, PAA, especially the CK6 formula. Oh man, the CK6 formula is hard to beat. The best soaps ever. You know, that's arguably a true statement. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there. CK6 is right up there with them, man. It's Douglas and Fran are putting out some really good stuff. So about the bay rum, I was talking to Tobin Fetters, and he says, "Bro, go get any bay rum from PAA. They use no clove in this in their soaps, and any other bay rums they have no clove in them. So you really need to check them out." So I got it. I'm gonna check it out. This is the first time. This is the first time You'll get the first impression. This is the first time I'm gonna take a whiff of bay rum that has no clove. So that's what the pour looks like. Let's check it out. Oh, that's interesting. That's nice. I've actually got a blind nose. I can't pick out the scent and tell you it's got this, it's got this, it's got that. Huh, that's interesting. That smells good. That smells really good. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to lather up. I know they have like they PA has a lot of bay rums. I might get another one just to compare it to this bay rum, but that's interesting. I use them because Gillette tip out from Russia. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it is hard to get them. Yeah, that's what I've heard. All right, so I really dig this bay rum right here. This is the first bay rum that I've smelt without the clove. I definitely wanna get into that. That's for sure. And then the second item I have here, or the third item I have here, this is for the cube. This is actually the docking station for the cube. Here, I can get it open. There we go. Hey, that's really cool, man. It's got the little rubber feet down here. Titan Prime in red. This is really cool. I really like the way this is made. And then it's got the channels here so the moisture can drip away or flow away. Huh. Pretty neat, man. Yeah, that's going to work out perfect. Real cool. Real cool. All right, I got one more item in this box here. And of course, you could probably guess what it is. It's the aftershave splash to that Atomic Age Bay rum. No extras. Let's make sure there's no extras in here. Last time I ordered from PAA. Oh, yeah, I do have something else in here. Last time I ordered from PAA, Fran and Douglas sent me some extra stuff, and my wife ended up stealing it from me because it was La Serena. They sent me a sample of La Serena. They sent me the sample of the shave soap, and they sent me a sample of the EDP. And my wife, as soon as she came in here and smelled it, she was like, "Oh yeah, this is mine," and she took it. So I don't have it with me here in the shave den. It's in my wife's restroom. She's got it over there in her area now. I hear a lot of good stuff about the Dorco Red. I haven't talked about it. Haven't used them. Okay, yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Dorco Red too. I haven't used them, so yeah. Here's the aftershave splash of the Atomic Age Bay rum. So I'm actually gonna pop this open, and it's got that seal up here, and that pops off. But before I even do that, I'm gonna mix it up. Actually, splash some on my hand. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. This is actually really good, man. No wonder why these guys are so popular. So, Atomic Age Bay rum. Yeah. Huh. I like that. Right on. That's not bad. It's probably not my favorite scent, but it's definitely not like the Club Empanada Bay rum, which really turned me off big time. I did not like the Club Empanada Aftershave Bay rum. And then I have the last thing I have in this package here from PAA are these little washers for the Ascension and their other razors. So I actually lost the first one of the Ascension. I was doing a shave and I wasn't paying attention, and I lost the little washer or seal or whatever you want to call this, the buffer ring. I think that's what it's called, a buffer ring. And I couldn't find it. I'm like, it couldn't have gone far. It's got to be right here somewhere. And I looked and searched and searched. I couldn't find it. I don't know what happened to it. But that's it for that box there. They did send me this. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's a gift card, phoenixshaving.com. So it says scan me. Anybody want to scan that? Yeah, there we go. My phone freaking sucks, man, when it comes to putting anything really close to the camera. It just does not want to focus. Yeah. And my camera's really old too. I can't justify going out and buying another camera. But I don't know if this is a purchase a gift card or what that I'm not really sure what that's for, but I thought I'd put it up there for you guys. So yeah, there's nothing there because it says price here and then the code here and it's blank. There's nothing there. So I wasn't sure what it was, but just in case, I wanted to throw it up there for you guys. So now, hey Nick, it's like an early Christmas 9 unboxing. Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it, Tom. So here's the other box here. All right, Too Fast, Too Furious. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. Have a good night. So this second box here, I'm going to open it up. This is something super exciting that I've been wanting since I first started wet shaving. When I first started wet shaving 11 months ago, this is something that I instantly knew I wanted, and I went to go look for it, and I couldn't find it. And I was super, super upset. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man. I missed out on it. So, Oud Spice. I finally got my Oud Spice, man. This is something I wanted. As soon as I started wet shaving and started learning about products, of course, I knew that I liked the Shulton Old Spice. So I started grabbing that stuff, and then I started learning about all the homages and dupes to Old Spice, like Barrister and Man Spice, Mama Bear's Age Spice. Who else does it? Soap Commander Endurance. Who am I missing? Anybody? Who else am I missing? But anyway, there's a lot of dupes and homages to Old Spice. Oh, I got Cold Spice from PAA. Now I got the Oud Spice. I wanted to get the Oud Spice, and it was gone. It's just gone. And I was like, am I going to never have my opportunity? But in the shave world, you never say never, because it's always going to come out at some point. Have a good night, brother. I appreciate it. Chinaman Hong Kong, what is the scent? The scent of the Oud Spice, it's just exactly like the Old Spice, except it's got the scent of oud in it. And super, super popular. I know Douglas and Fran put this out. Oh, man, that is so good. That is so good. This is actually a lot better than the original Old Spice. Like, I'm smelling this. It's got a little rip right here in the plastic, so I can get a hit of it. Oh, what part of the country am I in? I'm in the West. I'm actually in Colorado. I'm I'm in Colorado here. I was actually just talking about being a mile high up above sea level. We went to Washington. We went to Seattle, Washington, and then from there we went to Pasco, and I had to carry all this luggage across this huge parking lot. And I was like, "Oh, are you serious, man? I've got to carry all this luggage." I said, "I'm going to be worn out." And you know what's funny is there's so much oxygen down there. There is so much oxygen down there at sea level. I got those bags and all our luggage, and I walked across the parking lot. And when I got to our rental, I wasn't even out of breath. It was just amazing. I just couldn't believe it. I'm looking around. I'm like, why am I not tired? It's just so crazy. Have a good night, brother. I appreciate it. And so, yeah, it's being a mile high up here in the mountains. Yeah, there's not much oxygen up here. So when you go down to sea level and there's all that oxygen, yeah, you really don't get tired. No matter what you're doing, you really don't get tired. It's pretty wild. But yeah, this now that I smell this Oud Spice by PAA by Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, it smells like it smells like Old Spice should have oud in it. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody because I know everybody loves the classics, but I think this is actually better than the Shulton Old Spice. That is probably some of the best stuff. Oh yeah, and I wanted to buy this cube because I could use this pre-shave. I could use this pre-shave with the Soap Commander Endurance, with Cold Spice, with the Shulton Old Spice. I could use it with any of the any of the Old Spices that are homage or a dupe to the original Old Spice. I could use this cube, so that's why I really want this. And well, I'm a big fan of anything vintage. When I first started wet shaving, this was already gone. It had come and gone, and I couldn't get my hands on it, and I was really bummed out about it. And so I've been anticipating its return for a super long time, and I got it. And I believe Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, they made a really small batch of this. I think I got the email from Douglas at like, I think it was 3:30 in the morning. I was up getting ready for work, and I got the email saying that it was available, and I was like, oh, jumped on my phone right away. Click, click, click. I ordered it. I ordered all of it. So I ordered this. Here is the cube, the pre-shave, and then oh, cool. Yeah. See, so I was saying I jumped on it right away. So I got the holographic label here of Oud Spice. Yeah, my go-to razor. Do you have a go-to razor that you test blades out in? If so, what is it? So my go-to razor, I would say, is probably there's two of them. Probably the Merkur 34C is probably number one. And then the second one would be an adjustable, which is my Rockwell 6C. And the reason I use the Rockwell is because it's adjustable. You can switch the plates out, and if it's a little too aggressive, you can make it a little more mild. You can actually just step that blade up and down and just get a really good feel for it. The Merkur, you really can't do that. You can make it a little, the Merkur 34C, you can make it a little more aggressive by shimming the blade, but in my opinion, those are two really good razors to test blades out in. I would say the Rockwell 6C above all of them is probably the number one, and it's just because it's an adjustable. But I'll show you guys this again. Tom's Tom Smith, Nick, your channel is one of my favorites on wet shaving. You are really enthusiastic, really uplifting. Oh, thanks, brother. I really appreciate that. I didn't know how everybody was going to take my antics because I do a lot of crazy stuff here, man. So I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you. That makes it so worth it. Now, you knew I was going to say 34C. Yeah, because that's like, I'm not going to say anything you don't know already. Everybody calls it the workhorse of the industry. And I think that's why, is just because it's almost the perfect razor. It's an homage to all the old school Gillettes, and yeah, you can't go wrong with the 34C. I really like the 34C. That's what I started with, but I noticed that when I started honing my skill a little bit, started perfecting my technique, I noticed I wanted something a little bit more aggressive, so I started shimming it out. And yeah, you can't go wrong with the 34C. It's almost a perfect razor. If it was a little more aggressive, then yeah, I would say it is a perfect razor, but you can make it a perfect razor by shimming out the razor and making it a little more aggressive. It's the one you know best. Yeah, yeah, for real. So I really like this label. This label is super awesome. They actually made that rhino look like a robot. It just got the Santa Claus hat on, and then it's got the cube over here. Oh man, this label is just so awesome. And it's the holographic label because, like I said, I jumped on it as soon as I got that email from Douglas. And I think the old last year's Oud Spice, I think he had like a mask on. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. Like I said, I just got into it 11 months ago. So that was the first one I seen. I don't know if there was one before that. The mask kind of reminds me of maybe, you know, when the pandemic was happening. So it could be older than that. I don't know. I'm fairly new. I haven't even been doing this a year, but that's the one I seen. That's the one I was after. But I really don't. I really enjoy these labels. I really don't care what they were going to do with the label. I would have gotten it anyway. I've been after this Oud Spice for so long, and well, not like I'm saying, 11 months, but it feels like forever to me because I've been waiting since day one that I started this. So I'm super happy to have that Oud Spice. Oh yeah, brother, we're ready for Christmas already. Yeah, that's one thing me and the wife do is all of our kids they're all grown, they're all married, they're all out of the house. So it's just me and the wife here. So it's actually really mellow, real calm. So it's real easy. We're not really busy with the kids anymore as far as sports and activities and school. We're not busy like that anymore. So we got all the time in the world to plan and to get things done. So yeah, definitely ready for Christmas. We're gonna host this year. We're hosting Christmas this year at our house. So we've already got so many gifts, so many games in line. So yeah, it's gonna be a great Christmas. Are you ready for Christmas yet? I know a lot of people wait till the last minute, and we used to do that too, but not anymore. Now, like I said, it's just her and I here. We have time. We have time to plan for it. So I hope you guys are ready. It's a beautiful time. I think I've gained like 9 pounds this season because you try to stay in shape and you try to do what you need to do. You try to eat right. You try to be healthy, right, all year. But I'll tell you what, once Thanksgiving gets here, man, I mean, you got to spoil yourself. You can't, you got to be strict, but hey, you got to have your cheat days. But me, I'd rather have a cheat season. And that's when Thanksgiving starts. Because come after Christmas, even before the new year, I'll be back on it again. And yeah, uh, 9 pounds. Are you kidding me? 9 pounds. That's nothing to lose. Oh man, this smells so good. You know what's crazy is this reminds me exactly of Barrister and Man's spice. Barrister and Man's spice is probably some of the best scented. I would say Mama Bear's H Spice is maybe right up there on par with him as far as the performance, but the smell, yeah, this smells exactly like it, except this one has oud. Oh man, Old Spice should have had oud the whole time. Douglas and Fran really hit the money on this, man. This is super good. That's what I'm saying. Thanksgiving makes you big, but it's the holiday, yeah, and it's not like you're getting huge, you're just enjoying yourself. You're spoiling yourself. You're doing a little more because I really don't eat sweets. I really don't eat sweets, but yeah, come the holidays, oh man, I'm gonna indulge. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy myself. Why not? It's the perfect time. You're strict all year. You try to do what you need to do and be healthy all year, and then at the end of the year, yeah, spoil yourself, man. Have fun. You only live once. You only live once, so just enjoy it. I only started wet shaving about 2 months ago. Glad to see one of my shaved in inspirations started not long before. Yeah, yeah, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, I really fell down that rabbit hole because within a matter of months that I started wet shaving, oh man, I had quite the collection of soaps. I started listening to all these guys, what they were saying, and there was just so many good products out there that I was just like in a frenzy, man, just buying everything. Oh, excuse me, just oh, that sounds good. And then, like I said, I'm a big fan of anything vintage. So you go to Phoenix Artists and Accoutrements. Well, everything Douglas does is an homage to something vintage or something discontinued. And yeah, so like if you see all my soaps back here, most of those are PAA. because, like I said, I'm a sucker for anything vintage, and everything Douglas does, almost everything he does, is an homage to vintage stuff. So yeah, I just went on a frenzy trying to grab as much as I can. In fact, um, like I said, I've been doing this for 11 months now. I still haven't gotten through all them soaps. I think I'm maybe halfway through the soaps. And I don't even know if that's a true statement because I still keep revisiting the same soaps over and over again. So yeah, I don't even think I've gone through half of them yet, but super exciting. It's like, yeah, I got them and they're there. And man, it's super exciting once I do get to them. But okay, so I do have, this doesn't have the holographic label, this aftershave splash. It's just the normal sticker. It's not the holographic label like the shave soap here. And so let's grab something else here. Don't know what this is. Oh, I think I know what this is. So like I said, this Oud Spice, I've been waiting for it for so long that when it came out, I grabbed everything except the the bar soap and the shampoo and conditioner puck. I really like the way Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, I like the way that their bar soap and their conditioner and shampoo puck is scented. It's not the best performing stuff, to be honest with you. It's really not the best performing stuff. I bought one which was Tom Ford's not yeah, it was an homage to Tom Ford's F and Fabulous. It was the F bombs, and that stuff smells so good. But I got other products that are better performing. So even though it's cool to have them if you want them, it's not the best performing stuff out there, and they are reasonably priced. So if you want them, they're not expensive. They're fairly inexpensive. You can go out and get them. But I tried them, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're not bad, but I just got better stuff. So I really didn't want to grab them. But I did get the Oud Spice Solid Cologne here. And like I said, because this stuff will go with all the other homages to Old Spice that I have. Oh, it's got the little seal on here. Oh man, that smells so good. Oh man, I'm so happy that I got Oud Spice. I didn't even know. Yeah, they do make shaving Christmas soaps. Right now they have the Advent calendar that everybody just went wild over, and there's so many people with Advent calendars right now. I don't know if every soap in there is a Christmas scent, but I mean, if you go look, they do have a lot of Christmas scents. One thing they did have that I didn't pull the trigger on that I probably might get next year. I just got so much stuff. Like I said, I haven't even gone through half of my stuff, and I now I'm unpacking even more stuff that I'm going to add to my collection, but that I don't know when I'll get to. But this Oud Spice, I'll definitely get to this before too long. They have Space Nog, and that sounded so good, and I wanted it so bad, but I just have too much stuff. I'm going to see what I go through within the next year, and then I'll make an educated decision next year to see if maybe I'm going to pick up that. See if I'm going to pick up that. What am I trying to say? I got distracted here because I'm like, hey, where's the rest of my stuff? See if I'm going to pick up that Space Nog. That Space Nog sounds really good. It sounds like it's definitely worth picking up. Yeah, I just couldn't justify getting it. I want it really bad. I don't need it. I just want it. And so I got the Star Jelly. This stuff is really, really good. This stuff is so good performing. It kind of reminds me of anything you would get from Strike Gold Shave. Strike Gold Shave has some of the best skin food that I've used. And like I said, you're not hearing it from somebody that that's been doing it for years and years. Like I said, I'm only in it 11 months, but I've tried out quite a bit of products on my face. And Strike Gold Shave is probably some of the best skin food products you will put on your face. Strike Gold Shave is phenomenal. And this stuff right here, Star Jelly, is right up there with it. This Star Jelly makes your face feel so moisturized, conditioned, so good. The Star Jelly, if you don't want to use the aftershave and you don't like the burn, or you just don't want the aftershave, absolutely get the Star Jelly. This stuff will make your face feel so good. Your skin feels so amazing. I can't even explain to you how good it feels. It's really, really good. That sounds bomb. It is, brother. It's really, really good stuff, man. And then here's the last box that I got from this Oud Spice. And I was really excited to get this. This is the EDP Eau de Parfum. So what that means is water of perfume. And that raises something funny that I'll tell you. Okay, have you tried anything from Holy Call? Yeah, I have. I actually was sent. I have a little sample. I have a little sample of Holy Call shave soap, and I would say that after using the shave soap, just itself, the shave soap, the post shave feeling of the shave soap is really good. I haven't tried none of their aftershaves, but I don't know why I haven't grabbed any. I probably should. It'll just be one more thing for me to review. I know that the razor company sent me a bunch of samples, and Holy Call. I think I had a couple of Holy Calls. Can't remember which ones they were. Yeah, I can't remember which ones they were. I actually ended up giving one away on my channel as a giveaway. I think somebody won a brush from me, and I put a bunch of those soap samples inside the box when I shipped it off. But yeah, I have the EDP here also of Oud Spice. So like I said, I grabbed the whole set of Oud Spice except for the shampoo and soap conditioner. Robert Fegan. Hey, Nick. Hey, buddy. How are you, brother? I appreciate you being here. Thank you, man. Let's see. Does the scent last like an aftershave on the Star Jelly? You know, I don't know because I used the aftershave and then I used the Star Jelly afterwards. And I was recording my video and I was like, which one do I use? I don't know which one to use. And I said, you know what? I have them both. I'm going to use both of them. So I haven't actually used them separate, believe it or not. I've used them together. So I couldn't give you an honest answer on that. I hear a lot of wet shavers will use one or the other. I don't ever hear them using both of them at the same time like I did. But yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting. That's something I'll do. That's interesting. I'll have to put the Star Jelly on and see how the scent projects and how long it lasts, its longevity. So yeah, interesting. So this is the EDP, Eau de Parfum. Their balm is really thick, but I love it. Yeah, the balm's really good too, man. You can't go wrong with balm. I mean, balm is so amazing because it's basically a lotion that doesn't clog pores, right? So you can put it everywhere, anywhere on your head. If you're a head shaver, you can put it all over your face. You don't have to worry about it clogging pores. I love balm. Balm is amazing stuff. The aftershave balm. No, you're not throwing me off topic, man. Everything's all related here. Everything's shaving. That's why I'm here, man. You're not throwing me off topic. Everything that has to do with shaving. I think like on my first live, I went into hair pomades and I went into soaps and shampoos and body soaps and yeah, it's all related. It's all men's grooming, right? I think I even went into using hyaluronic acid and retinol cream for anti-aging, because us guys that are well over half 100, we're starting to get these crow's feet. We're starting to get wrinkles and stuff. And the retinol see, I'm already going off on, it's all men's grooming though, on anti-aging cream, so yeah, it's all related. It's all men's grooming. And that's why we do this, because it's all men's grooming. There's nothing off topic. No, I appreciate you, brother. Don't even worry about it. But so EDP, Eau de Parfum, the EDT, believe it or not, is Eau de Toilette, which is, it's all French. Eau de Toilette means water, toilet water, which I covered that on one of my videos. And yeah, I was really shocked to find out the EDP is toilet water. When you translate it directly from French to English, it's toilet water. And yeah, I mentioned on one of my videos, hey, this stuff's so good. I'll wear that toilet water any day. So yeah, pretty neat. But I'm super, super excited. I'm super excited to have this whole set of the Oud Spice. If you guys are interested, I did say that I don't order the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, their shampoo and conditioner pucks. I don't order them. and their body soaps, their bar soaps. I don't order them either. If you're interested in what I use, it's the Cremo products. I've heard some guys say that they love the Cremo shave creams. I don't care for them personally. It's really, really hard. I love toilet water. That's what I'm saying, bro. That toilet water is awesome, man. Also didn't know that until I watched that video. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I try to do as much research as I can before I shoot a video because, like I said, I've mentioned before that when I first started wet shaving, I wanted to learn about the product because I knew nothing. And I would go to these channels and I would watch these cats shave. And I would be like, they'd be like, hey, I'm using this, I'm using this. And they start shaving. And they'd be like, me and the wife last night or me and the kids. And I'm like, I don't know you. I'm glad that you're having fun with your family, but I actually clicked on your channel to learn something and I walked away. I learned a little more about you, but in all honesty, I just really want to learn about the product that you're and yeah, I wasn't learning anything. So when I started making videos, I was like, I'm going to try to put a little bit of history or maybe at least a little bit more knowledge on there because that is going to help me learn. If I'm going through all this information and then I'm presenting it, at some point in time, it's got to stick in my head. So I'm like, yeah, that's how I'm going to present it because that's the only way it's going to stick in my head. And so that's why I do that. And oh yeah, I was going to grab something out too. So I did not pay for this. This is my timeless razor here. I just got this timeless razor. I did not pay for this. This is the 100 millimeter handle. This is the big long handle, and this is the tuxedo etching on it. I really love this. I got this in the 9.5 gap, so this is the more aggressive. My wife bought me this for Christmas. Yeah, I got my Christmas gift early. We're older already. Like I said, my kids are all married out of the house. We get something for each other, and we're like, just let me have it. There's no reason to wait until Christmas and then start unwrapping presents. That's more for like the kids. They leave out cookies and milk, and then in the middle of the night you go eat the cookies and milk, and then you blame it on Santa Claus in the morning. But hope no little kids are watching. Don't want to ruin their Christmas. But I got this also. I was going to do an unboxing of this, but I just couldn't wait, man. I couldn't wait. I shaved with it already. A beautiful, beautiful shave. This is probably one of my best razors here. I really love this. Yeah, brother, it's awesome. This is this razor. Yeah, in person, I don't know if the camera's doing it any justice, but in person, this thing is just gorgeous. It's like one of the most beautiful razors I've ever seen. It's one of the most beautiful razors I've ever shaved with. The performance on it is spectacular. It is hard to come out, $300 for a razor, but I believe if you bought a whole bunch of razors for $30, let's say you bought 10 razors and they were $30 a piece, that's $300. And you got razors that some of them give you a better shave than others. This razor here, it's a one purchase and you're going to get a really, really good shave. And they have another blade gap. I think it's like a 6.8 or something like that. And I hear guys are getting phenomenal shaves out of the 6.8 also. I hear the 6.8 open comb is probably the best shave you can get. A lot of guys are saying that it's even better than the 9.5 blade gap. So yeah, I might end up having to get one of those in the near future here because the timeless razor, it's probably my best performing razor up there. It's one of my better looking ones, but as far as performance, oh yeah, nothing comes close to it. And I got a whole bunch of them too. I hope I didn't mess up their Christmas spirit, man. I hope there's no little kids out there watching because yeah. Don't listen to me, buddy. Wait for Santa Claus. He's packing up. He's getting ready to come to your house. So don't listen to what I'm saying. But yeah, I'm really excited to get this stuff. I do have a lot of razors. I wanted to get these buffers here because I do have a lot of razors that they look like they should have these buffers in them, but they don't. So I'm like, it's not going to hurt to put a buffer in there because right now I've got a few razors that are just metal to metal. And I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't sound right to me. It shouldn't be metal to metal. There should be a buffer in there. There should be a buffer ring. So I'm just going to add buffer rings to all of them. It couldn't hurt, right? So I'm just going to try it, see what it does. There's a groove in there that looks like a buffer ring should be in there, so I don't think it's going to hurt it. If it does, then I'll just remove it, but it just seems like a really good idea to have one in there. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do with those. But if you guys want, save up for the timeless razor, and get you a timeless razor. I can't say enough good things about this. It is good. It was so effortless, and I think I did a short video on it, and at the end of that short, I was touching my face, and I was like, that is crazy. I think the next day, I went to work, I got home, and I was feeling my face, and I was still smooth. And I did that with another razor too. I think it was the Razor Rock Goat. I don't remember. And but usually if I shave, like 8 hours later, I'll feel my face and I could feel stubble on my face. And with this guy, no. It was the next day after work. I came home and my face was still so smooth. It was that efficient. And I didn't get any weepers or anything with this. This is really good one. And with that being said, I also want to mention the Mula R41. I did a video. I don't know if anybody's seen my video, but I don't think I was scared. I think I was intimidated. Bob from the YouTube channel Firepower for All, he sent it to me so I could shave with it and record it and review it on my channel. And yeah, it is amazing, brother. That razor sounds amazing. It's probably the best performing razor in my collection by far. The timeless razor is just I know you can go over to like Razor Emporium and get a $500 razor. You can go other places and get like $1,000 razor, but I would probably never do that. After shaving with this, there's no reason to keep going and getting even more expensive ones. I'll buy another timeless. I'll probably buy the 6/8 gap open comb stainless steel, but yeah, there's really no reason to go anywhere else. I know that I almost called him Martin Lawrence. What the heck's wrong with me? Matthew Lawrence had the timeless TI, which is the titanium, and he actually called it a shitty razor. He did not get a good shave from that, and that was really shocking to find out. But that just goes to show you that that you need to really search to what works for you, because what works for me isn't always going to work for you. Yeah, everybody's different, right? I was really, really shocked to find out that titanium from Timeless, Matthew just did not get a good shave from it. He actually, he was shaving, he shaved with it, and then he had to clean up with something, with the Razor Rock. I think it was, what's it called? Anyway, it was a Razor Rock. I was going to say the Razor Rock Game Changer. I don't know if that's the name of it. It was so long ago that I watched that video. I think it was the Game Changer, but it was a Razor Rock that he cleaned up with. I was shocked because, like I said, I got one of the best shaves with this timeless here, and to see Matthew call it a shitty razor because it did not shave him well was a shock. It was a shock. It was very surprising. You could see when he does switch over, when he puts down the timeless and he does grab the Razor Rock and he's shaving, you can hear that it's taking the stubble off. So he wasn't lying. It did leave a lot behind on him, and I didn't get that at all. And all the other wet shavers that I seen, they're getting phenomenal. They're getting phenomenal shaves. So when my wife asked me what I wanted for Christmas, I knew exactly what I wanted, and I was not disappointed. Chris Jones, nice looking razor. Thanks, brother. I think so too. This is like one of the best looking ones in the collection. And like I said earlier, it's the best performing by far. If I had one that came close to it, it would be the Mula R41. The Mula R41, I was just talking about that. It's not, a lot of people were saying it was aggressive. I wasn't scared, but I was really intimidated. When I shot that video, I was actually trying to show it, and it was doing this number. And I was like, am I shaking? I'm like, holy crap, I'm shaking, And so I was definitely intimidated by it. But then I started shaving with it. And oh man, I got the best shave. I think I used an Astra blade inside that Mula R41. I do hear that the Mula R41 now is not as aggressive as the old style one. I hear they revamped it a few years ago and it's not as aggressive, but man, I got probably one of the best shaves off of that Mula R41. It was effortless. It did seem like I had to hold it back a little bit because, yeah, it was really aggressive. It was really efficient, but I didn't find it dangerous like a lot of people say. The timeless is my next big razor purchase for sure. You can't go wrong with the timeless, brother. That is a purchase you will definitely be happy with. I personally love, if you can't tell from my profile, my T2 stainless. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. That's the one. That's the one that's super popular with a lot of traditional wet shavers, with a lot of seasoned wet shavers. Yeah, it's a very popular one. Yeah, they do. I mean, they do make $1,000 razors. I mean, I haven't found one, but I was watching a wet shaver. I can't remember who it was, but he bought like an $800 razor, and with the taxes and shipping, it was like 900 and something bucks. It was quite a bit, and I was like, that's something I'll never get. Even if I had the money, even if money wasn't an issue, I just couldn't justify even reviewing products, having a YouTube channel or reviewing products. Um, there's no way I would do that. Like I said, even if money wasn't an issue, there's still no way. That's just too much. Have you ever used a razor that was terrible? Oh brother, oh brother, I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna show you. You guys are gonna be shocked. Yes, yes, I have this guy right here, the Mula. I think this is the Mula R96 or the Mula R 98. Anyway, this is the Roca, the Mueller Roca. I hear so many good things, and this is the more expensive one because it has the birch handle. Um, everybody, everybody rants and raves about this Mueller Roca right here. Everybody's getting phenomenal shaves, and I shaved with it, and it just wasn't for me. I felt like Matthew Lawrence with the timeless razor. It left so much stubble behind, and I was trying to ride the cap, to clean up, and I was using all my angles and everything, and I just could not get a good shave from this guy here. Very disappointing because this one with the birch handle is about 50 bucks more than all the other Mula Rocas that you can get with the I don't know what it is. I think it's the black handled one, and they got different ones. This birch handle is the most expensive one of the most expensive ones. The one that's murdered out, the all black one, I believe costs around the same, which is like $148 or something like that. And it's just because of all the work that's put into putting these handles on. Titleist Velocity is one of the first and only 1,000 razors I've heard of. Okay, yeah, I know somebody had ended up buying a $1,000 razor, and I was like, that is crazy. I agree. I can't justify paying $1,000 for any razor. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I can't justify when you can go to the hood and buy a decent running car for $1,000. There's no way I'm gonna buy a razor, for $1,000. Just can't do that. So more expensive don't mean nothing in the shaving world. No, it really doesn't. I mean, it's all about what works for you. And I would start off I would start off on the lower end, more budget friendlies, because there's a lot of budget friendlies. Like for example, Vikings blades. Like the Vikings blades, I've got the Odin, I've got the adjustable Meiji. Those guys give me phenomenal shaves, and it's a fraction of the price. I think I paid $30 for the Odin, and this was 150. And the Odin Vikings blade Odin gives me such a better shave than this here. I just struggled, and I've shaved with it a couple of times. I thought maybe, oh, well, I'm just not used to the angle, the technique, or whatever. And yeah, I shaved a couple of times with it, and both shaves were the same. And I really did try to find that angle and pay attention to what I was doing. And I couldn't get a good shave with it. And what really sucks is I ended up buying I've got the brush right here too with the birch handle. So this is a $300 purchase that I really ain't happy with, and that really sucks. The brush, honestly, there's nothing wrong with the brush. The brush is beautiful. The brush is awesome. I'm really disappointed about the razor though. The razor, I expected so much more from the razor, and I know it's not my technique. I just don't agree with it. That's why you hear a lot of wet shavers say, just experiment with a bunch of stuff, different blades, different razors, find what works for you, because what works for you might not work for me. And so this is what I was talking about. If you look at that groove in there, it looks like it should have a buffer ring in there. Look how flat that is. It looks like there should be a buffer ring inside of there. So I'm going to take one of those buffer rings and I'm going to add it and put it in all the razors that look like this, that look like they should have a buffer ring in them. They come in a pack of 10. And I think I paid 99 cents for this on Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements website. So I actually bought 2 of them. You get 20 rings, $2. You can't go wrong. And like I said, I feel like they should be in there anyway. Titleist has a razor for about 1,000. Titleist has a razor for about 1,000. Beautiful looking razor, but I agree, I couldn't spend that much on a razor. Plus, my wife would kill me. Yeah, no doubt. I don't even know what I would say to my wife. I would. In that case, it is not better to ask for forgiveness than permission, because the $1,000. I mean, that is a lot of money to pay for a tool that is all you're going to do is just shave your face. I would. I'm going to research that. I'd be interested in what the performance of $1,000 razor is. I know, like I said, I watched it a while back. I don't remember the details and the specifics. All that stuck in my head was, "Wow, you paid $1,000 for a razor." That's all I remember. So I have to go back and try to look at it again. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. But yeah, this is probably one of the worst shaves I've ever gotten, to be honest with you. I'm really disappointed with it because it is a Mula, and every single video I watched with guys shaving with this Roca got phenomenal shaves. I did look at my blade gap. I looked at my blade alignment. There's maybe the most minimal amount of chatter in there, but it's nothing that would make a difference, a big difference where you're going to notice. The machining is awesome. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't get a good shave with it. And like I said, a $30 razor gave me a shave 10 times better than this. So I don't know. I think this is probably one I'm going to end up giving away on my channel, because to be honest with you, I really don't care to shave with it again. I gave it a test drive. It didn't come out good. I said, I need to figure out what's going on with it. Gave it another test drive, same results. So yeah, and that's paying close attention to what I'm doing, paying close attention to my technique. And it just comes down to, it's me and that razor just don't mix. That's just what it is. If I remember correctly, from Ohio Shaves and Razor Emporium, it's not even the best razor out there. Well, maybe not. Yeah, that's interesting because I am subscribed to Ohio Shaves, so I'll have to go see his take on that razor, because like I said, the rest of the guys that I've watched, they've all had really good things to say about it. So I'll have to go check out Ohio Shaves. That guy's got some good stuff on his channel. I wonder if they get paid to say the razor was good. I would doubt it. I would hope not, because you really don't want somebody that's going to be deceiving, and take a pay cut and say something that really isn't their honest opinion just for a few bucks. That would be terrible. Hopefully not. Even if it is a really sweet deal, it's not worth your soul. You don't want to start lying, because, like, for example, you don't want to lie to people, because what's going to happen is they're going to take your advice, and more than one person is gonna probably take what you recommended, and they're going to put it to trial and error, and you'll be exposed in the future. You'll be exposed that, what, you're full of shit, man. You're not telling the truth, and you will be exposed. So I would hope not. I would hope somebody would be like, if a company approaches you and says, hey, we'll give you a kickback if you say this, you're better off just walking away, just walk away, because they're trying to change who you are at that point, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's very dishonest, and just, you don't want that on your conscience. You want to be able to sleep at night when you lay down. So that's just my opinion anyway. You don't want to get in bed with people like that. You don't want to work with people like that. That's not good. I wonder if they got paid to say, yeah. Hope not, man. Oh, we talk about the Titleist. Well, Who knows? Who knows? Because there's only a certain type of person, right, that would be able to afford that razor. I guess, I don't think just the average Joe is going to pay $1,000 for a razor. There's probably, if you can afford $1,000 razor, then, I mean, I don't want to pass judgment on anybody, but I'm just thinking if you have that much money to pay for a razor, I don't know, maybe you can be persuaded to say something that really isn't going to affect you anyway, and you're not worried about it, right? So I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of a slippery slope there, man. Yeah, I can't imagine buying that. That $1,000 razor is personally, yeah, that's something I would never. I don't even want something like that, because I don't want to think I paid $1,000 for this and it's just a razor. That's all it is. I don't want to know I did that, So maybe it is good. If it's good, then great. But if you did pay $1,000 for it and it's a good razor, good for you. That's great. But there's other good razors that are more affordable, in my opinion, that I'd rather put my money towards. If I have $1,000, I'm not buying a razor. Me and the wife are going on a really long weekend. That's going to be real nice. Yeah, they're probably trying to prove themselves that spending $1,000, pay $1,000 was a good idea. Probably, I mean, you would have to try to justify it somehow. You would just have to because that is quite a bit of coin for a razor. Yeah, I agree with that. Um, yeah, I just like why when you can get a Merkur 34C, um, and it shaves just fine. So I did a couple of videos on the Caveem razor, which is like $9. Um, the first one they sent me, the Caveem I did not pay for. They did send it to me to review on my channel. Excuse me. The first one I got, it was defective. It had a lot of issues. The second one they sent me, that was a decent shave. It was super mild. So when there's razors out there like that, especially if you're just getting started, and um, you can get. I don't want to say it's a good razor. I don't even want to say it's a decent razor. But if you can get a razor that'll shave, let's say it's just a razor that'll shave for $9, then yeah, especially if you're starting out, or if you're just looking for a really good travel razor. Um, just $1,000 is just ridiculous. I can't. I even have a hard time processing that in my mind. $1,000, for a razor. It's crazy. Even if I had all the money in the world, even if I won the lotto, I'm not gonna buy me $1,000 razor. I don't care. I'm just not doing that. I'll tell you what. I'll probably have if I did win the lotto, I would probably have every single Timeless razor that Timeless makes. I would definitely have that, and that would add up to over $1,000 real quick. But you know what? I have every single one of really good razors, and I know they're probably gonna a few of those are gonna shave better than that $1,000 razor. I think. I don't know. I don't really know much about that $1,000 razor, but yeah, I couldn't justify paying 1,000 for just one piece of equipment. That's quite a bit. That's a little steep. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Wash the dishes, clean the house, make me breakfast. Yeah, it better do a lot of things. That thing better multitask, that's for sure. Speaking on budget razors, have you tried any of the budget Merkur Future clones? I've personally bought four of Vanderhagen's for friends to get. No, I haven't. I heard really bad stuff. There's a kid on YouTube. He's a young kid on YouTube. His name's Chad. I'm trying to think of his channel. He tried using one of those Chinese knockoff Merkur Futures. Um, what is his? He does a lot of vintage gear. He buys a lot of vintage gear. He does a lot of vintage shave videos. I can't think of his name or his channel. Um, and he tried a knockoff version of the Merkur Future, and he tore himself up. There was so much blade chatter. It was, of course, just like the Merkur. It was super dangerous to load the blade and unload it. But his biggest complaint was there was a lot of blade chatter. The blade is not solid in there. You are going to tear yourself up. I wouldn't recommend doing it. Um, yeah, the Merkur Future, just the brand name one, I hear is dangerous. I hear if you get that gap too aggressive, then that blade starts flexing and chattering, and it's not good. You got to keep it real tight and keep the tolerances down to the minimum it'll go to keep the blade solid in there. The Vanderhagens, the kid I work with, he's a young kid. He's in his early 20s. Um, he has been shaving with an old school Vanderhagen that his mom got him when he was a young teenager, and he loved it. It was really old, so I ended up giving him a vintage Gillette Tech. I think it was a 1956 model I gave him, and he really loved that. Said that Gillette Tech was more aggressive than the Vanderhagen, but he had shaved with that Vanderhagen for a really long time. And I know they don't make the new ones that you can find in the stores now. They don't make them the same like they did the old ones. I actually opened a box up when I was over at Walmart, and I grabbed it and I was looking at it outside the box, and it felt like a toy to me. So um, I haven't heard anything bad about him. I think Kinsurfs on YouTube shaved with one, and he didn't have a problem with it. They feel really light. If you like a light razor, then the new Vanderhagens is probably a good blade for you or razor for you. I haven't used one. I want to get one to review on my channel, but I just haven't pulled the trigger. I don't know why. They're only like 17, 18 bucks, but I just, like I said, I have so much stuff that I haven't even gone through yet that I haven't even touched that maybe one day I'll grab one. I know I advised not to. I was like, that thing felt like a toy. Don't get it. But I don't know. There's some YouTubers that are shaving that don't have a problem with them. Is there expensive shave soaps out there? Yeah, there is expensive shave soaps. So if you go to the razor company, I don't even know how to say the name of it. There is a shave soap that you can get, the shave soap and the splash, and it's damn near $100. I think the shave soap is like $45, and the splash is like 55. Supafonico or something like that. Supafonico. 80th anniversary, and so I think I'm saying that right. Sopofonico. If you just went to the razor company and looked up 80th anniversary or 70th anniversary, um, yeah, those shapes. So, and that's the big thing that I look out for too, is how much are they charging per ounce? I think like $3 an ounce. That's getting up there a little bit. $2 an ounce, perfect. Within $2 or $3 an ounce is perfect. But there's some shave soaps out there that are getting like 11, 10 to $12 an ounce, and that is just completely ridiculous. I did pull the trigger. I don't know if you guys, it's coming up, but I've got an Aqua de Parma Barbiere up there that I paid a lot for. I think that tub was $45. The aftershave balm was $65, and the aftershave splash was, no, the aftershave splash was $45. The soap was $55, and the balm was $65. And that was stupid expensive to buy. I didn't know what I was doing. I had just barely started, and I got into it, and I'm thinking, this ain't saving me money like everybody said. Well, I didn't know what I was doing. I ended up buying a Badger silver tip, for $80. And I was like, so am I just supposed to save money in the future? And because this stuff's kind of expensive. No, I could have bought myself some inexpensive, really good stuff, but I didn't know what I was doing. So them saying you'll save money, yeah, that's true. If you do some research and educate yourself. I didn't. I just jumped in like I do with anything else. I'm just, oh, let me through the door. I'm coming through, and just bought myself a bunch of expensive stuff. And I was like, I didn't need to do that, man. I didn't need to do that, but I already did. But I'll tell you what, that Aqua de Parma Barbiere, oh man, that stuff is good. That stuff is good. Is it worth it? Uh, eh, yeah, because I bought it. I wouldn't advise you to go buy it. I think actually somebody asked me about Holy Caw. I think Holy Caw has Parma Paradise, maybe, and that smells exactly like Aqua de Parma at a fraction of the price. I think it's actually like more than half the price is Parma Paradise. Smells exactly like Aqua de Parma. Aqua de Parma is not a beginner soap for sure. It's kind of expensive. I believe that. I've always used them under five. Yeah, even $5 is getting expensive. $5 an ounce. There's really good soaps out there. I haven't tried the regular TTO. I've only tried the future clone. The future clone, yeah. Did you get a good shave out of that future clone? Because I've heard some scary things about that razor. So, yeah, actually I have the Merkur Future and or Futor or whatever you call it, and I haven't shaved with it yet. It's still in my collection. I haven't shaved with it. If I do shave with it, I'll. Oh, you love it, huh? That's interesting. Okay, huh? Like I said, it's all. I guess it's all about the way you use it and different razors for different people. And you know what I'm really now that you say that, you know what I'm really interested in getting is a Yachi razor. I hear good things about the Yachi razors. There's a channel on YouTube, Heiko Shaves, and he does a lot of Yachi razors, and he's got a lot of good things to say about those razors. I like Heiko Shaves. He does a really good job of reviewing, whether it be hardware, software. I like Heiko Shaves. He's awesome. Okay. Most soaps are 4 ounces. Saponifico is 5.3 ounces and will last as long as 2 to 3 regular artisan. Okay, I didn't know that. The Saponifico. Okay. I think I think the next video I make, I'll be doing a budget list. I've been recommending. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be an awesome video. Banfield Shaves. Banfield Shaves. You know what? I'm gonna go check you out, brother. I don't think I'm subscribed to your channel. I'm gonna have to go check. If I'm not, I will subscribe. I thought I was, but I'm gonna have to go check just to be sure. I've used a bunch of the future clones. I like them. It's like a mild feature. Oh, really? Okay. Well, to be honest with you, that young kid I was talking about that shaved with the Merkur Future knockoff, that's basically the only video I watched. And he tore himself up, so I actually passed judgment on it just with that one video. I was like, yeah, okay, that's enough. Well, it's not for me. So maybe I have to change my mind on that. Okay. What is your favorite shave soap right now in your collection? My favorite shave soap right now. Oh, that's so hard, man. It's so hard because the market is so competitive, and when you have a competitive market like that, everybody starts putting out good stuff. But I would say, man, in total honesty, right now, Strike Gold Shave Aftershave Splash has some of the best skin food for your face. And this is coming from somebody that hasn't even been doing this a full year, right? But I've used a lot of products. I put a lot of products on my face, reviewing them, and I do a lot of shaves off camera, just so I can get a feel of what I'm doing. And Strike Gold Shave, man, their products just leave you feeling so good. Um, yeah, and I would say Barrister and Man. Barrister and Man is probably number two. Yeah, I have a really hard. Star Jelly is up there with them though, because Star Jelly is like this stuff made me feel really. Like I said, it's such a hard question to answer, because there's so many good things out there. But top number one right now so far, I would say Strike Gold Shave. To be totally honest with you, but Barrister and Man and this guy right here, PAA, they're not far behind. They're right there with them, man. It's that's a hard question to answer, and there might even be better stuff out there. I just don't know because I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, in my opinion, that's what I've encountered is the Strike Gold Shave. If I had to put money on it, what's my favorite shaving soap right now in my collection? Oh man, I'm really. Uh, that's hard. That's so hard. There's so many good ones. Um, as far as shave soap, I would have to say the Barrister and Man. Barrister and Man and Mama Bear soaps. They work really well. Just as far as the cushion and the performance, the scent's really good. Whatever Barrister and Man does, the scent's going to be really good, right? But just what Will's doing, with his products. The cushion's really good. The performance is spectacular. Um, yeah, I think Barrister and Man will rival any other soap out there. I still have to say Strike Gold Shave is like, as far as performance, Strike Gold Shave is right underneath him, right there. Like I said, the market's so competitive. Those are definitely hard questions for me to answer because they're all so good, so good. I'll use the Vanderhagen clone in that. Okay, cool, man. You'll be the fourth one. I'll just start. You just started posting not long ago. That's perfect, man. That's perfect. Definitely want to support you, brother. So I'll go subscribe if I'm not yet. Now you've got four. Yeah. So so let's go back to what's the best shave soap. So I think what you're doing and how you're using them makes a big difference too. So I know there's a lot of guys that live in areas that have hard water. They got a lot of calcium, they got a lot of magnesium in their water. I think the best thing you can do is go to the store and buy distilled water. That's what I use in my shaves. Is I strictly use distilled water. You're going to get the best performance of your soaps with distilled water. If you do live in an area where you have hard water and you can't get distilled water, or you don't have time, or whatever the situation is, you just don't have access to distilled water, just get a big pot of water and boil the crap out of it. You will boil all those extra, you will boil all those extra nutrients out, and you'll have really good clean water. I know guys were complaining about Purasso creams and Purasso soaps. Not having the slickness. They had the cushion, they had the scent, but they did not have the slickness. And I think it was because they were in an area where they had hard water. I've never had a problem with Purasso products. They've always been really good performers. The cushion, the slickness, really, really good for me. Both the shave soaps and the creams. And I think strictly using distilled water in my shaves, I know that makes a big difference, because I didn't use distilled water when I first started. And when I switched over to using, I don't even know how I found that out. I think maybe I might have heard it somewhere. Honestly, I don't remember how I found that out, but at some point I switched over to distilled water, and that made all the difference. All the difference. Yeah, you have to try it for yourself. It's actually perfect. It's perfect to use distilled water in your shave soap. You will not want to use anything else after using distilled water. Or like I said, if you don't have distilled water, just get a big pot and boil the crap out of it and get that water nice and clean. You will tell the difference for sure. I recently started using distilled on your recommendation. It makes a big difference in lather. It really does, man. It makes all the difference. I won't shave with anything else besides distilled water. And like I said, if I don't have distilled water, then I'll go out, I'll boil me a big old giant pot of water, and I'll save that for strictly just shaving. The only time I've had a problem with Purasso was from the red, and only because I have an issue with sandalwood. I found out the hard way. Oh yeah, that sandalwood, yeah, that's specially formulated for coarse, really thick, coarse beards. I know it's not like the white, which is the green tea and the oatmeal. It's totally different. I don't know if the formula is different. I really, to be honest with you, haven't looked at the ingredients, but I mean, it's got to be right because it's formulated for different beards. Yeah, that sucks, because Purasso sandalwood is probably like the best, most real sandalwood that I've encountered so far. I know there's a lot of sandalwoods out there. I know Geo Fat Boy is head over heels about the Taylor of Old Bond Street sandalwood. I've never tried that before, but he absolutely loves it. Do you like a thicker or smoother shaving soap? Um, I probably a smoother one, because I think you could probably, as long as you have a smooth shave soap, you can always make it thicker, depending on how you lather it up. As long as it's nice and smooth, then you can make it thicker. You can make it thinner. You can work with it. You can play with it, run experiments. I'm always in here running experiments. I think I mentioned before that if you're looking around the house and I'm not outside in the shop, or I'm not anywhere you can find, come in here into the shave studio here. You'll find me in here. I'll be playing with something to do with shaving. I'm always running experiments in here. My wife, instead of looking for me somewhere else, this is the first place she comes, and she usually finds me in here. It's pretty funny. Red and green Purasso were really good for me, but the blue and white were terrible. Offered no protection. I felt like it was shaving with no soap. That's crazy, because I think, in my opinion, I did a series on the Purasso, and in my opinion, I found that the blue was the best performing out of all of them. It was the worst smelling one. It doesn't smell bad. It's just the other one smelled really good. It doesn't smell bad. It had like an industrial chemical smell to it, and it wasn't bad smell. It wasn't like a bad industrial or a bad chemical smell. It just didn't have a good scent to it. But I felt like the performance was really, really good. And I did that a few times, shaved with it. But like I said, everybody's different. What works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. And that's why we get different things, and we try shaving with different products, because everybody's different. Not everybody's the same. We're not all robots that will use the same thing. We're all different, and that's what makes this a beautiful hobby. Yeah, it does smell good. Really, really good. The white has too much of a floral scent for me. Makes me sneeze. Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks because I think the white pre-shave smells so good. I actually got a hold of Rod Sterling, and I said, Rod, is there any way you can make a shave soap that is the exact same scent as the Prosso White pre-shave? And he says, I've never smelt the Prosso White pre-shave. And that was a shocker to me, because this is an artisan that's making shave soap. And I was like, I'll send you one, because I think the pre-shave has the citrus scent, it has the green tea and the citrus. And I believe it's just a beautiful scent. The soap, the soap is okay. It doesn't smell bad. It's not spectacular, but it's okay. But the pre-shave, in my opinion, really, really good. And then we never moved forward with that idea. I don't know if he liked it or didn't like it, but I never heard from him. And then I never emailed him again to follow up either. Chinaman Honk. All right. Good night, brother. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, man. I expect the blue to be the best performing because of the aloe. Yeah, and that's what I thought too, and that the blue Paraso was going to be the best for performing because of the aloe, and I wasn't disappointed. My theory turned out to be correct. It's the best performing, in my opinion, the Paraso blue. So, you know, Banfield Shaves. I'm starting to think right now. I'm writing your channel down right now because I have a feeling that I am not subscribed to your channel, and I'm going to go check it out. Benfield underscore shaves. Yeah, because I'm really big into all of us little channels supporting each other, brother. I mean, we're all out here having fun, trying to put these videos together, and just when I first started, I know I couldn't go live on YouTube because you have to have 100 subscribers to go live. So I went live on Facebook, and I had a cousin. He was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry," and not very many people were watching, and I was like, I have no expectations, bro. I'm not upset. I don't have any expectations. I'm doing this because I love to do it and I'm having fun. But it changes. It changes. You start to have expectations, especially when I have people like you guys that like what I'm doing and support me. Then, I have expectations from myself. I'm like, okay, so I want to do this good. I want to do this right because people like what I'm doing. At first, I had no expectations. I was like, I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because I like to do it. And then now it's like, people like what I'm doing, so I have to do it right. Is what I think is right anyway. I'm not perfect, and I just try to do the best I can. Yeah, yeah, you're gonna run upstairs to smell it right now. Yeah, it doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. It doesn't have the best scent. It's really weird because you're like, why do the other Paraso smell really good, but this blue one, they kind of like we're like, man, I don't really care about the scent. Just put it out there. That's basically what I got out of it. It's really like an The best way I can describe the Paraso blue is it's not bad. It's a weird industrial scent. When uh when I grabbed it and smelt it, I was like, okay, this I don't know what this smells like. And then I lathered it up, and I got a huge, luxurious lather. And then when I whipped up that lather, that's when I noticed I was like, this reminds me of like a warehouse or I don't know, like an assembly line factory or something. This has such a strange scent to it. It's really, really weird. I really like Chala. Oh yeah, Chala is amazing. Just wish it had a stronger scent. PA makes They make a chala scented splash, huh? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. The chala is really, really good. Yeah. So the first time I grabbed chala, and I've got the almond cherry or the almond marzipan scented one. I got the red one. Yeah, as soon as I got it, my wife threatened me and said, "This is going to come up missing." She fell in love with it. It smells so good. The aftershave splash for the Cella does not smell like the Cella shave soap as far as the almond marzipan. The aftershave splash stands all alone. It's got a really nice woody masculine scent to it. The shave soap, the Cella shave soap, oh man, that's just a really gorgeous, gorgeous scent. It reminds me of the Jergens cherry almond um, lotion. Is exactly what it reminds me of as far as the scent goes. But don't go use that Jergens. It's if you have dry skin, it's not good for dry skin. It smells really good, smells amazing, feels good, but then once it absorbs into your skin, it really doesn't help you. In my opinion, anyway, it never helped me. There's a lot of really good lotions out there that you can get. I didn't know about the PA splash. I'm gonna be buying that the second I can. Yeah, I didn't know that they had a Cella aftershave splash either. I'm wondering if their Cella aftershave splash smells like the Cella soap or if it smells like the Cella aftershave splash. Because like I said, the aftershave splash, as far as the cherry marzipan, it doesn't smell like the shave soap. It stands alone, but it is freaking awesome. It is really, really good. Um, yeah, in fact, when my wife threatened to take the shave soap from me, she told me, "You can keep the aftershave splash." She said, "But your soap, it might come up missing." And I was like, That's fine. That's fine. I know where you're at, so if I need it back, I can go get it." Yeah, I love chala. So I haven't tried the vegan formula of chala, which I believe is the aloe vera. Also, it's the green one. I haven't tried that one. I hear it doesn't smell as good as the red. I hear it has a beautiful scent. It's just not as good as the red, but I hear the performance is really, really good. It is a vegan. Yeah, really interested, but I haven't pulled the trigger and got it. But I hear a lot of really good things about it. Called Chala Cool. I use cello along with sterling cherry together. Fantastic together. That sounds good. Yeah, that would definitely go the chala cherry or the chala and the sterling cherry together because, like I said, it's the cherry marzipan and the chala red doesn't smell like the soap. So yeah, I bet that smells wonderful. Huh? Yeah, I bet if I had that together, my wife would probably be like, "I'm taking both of these." That's probably like one of the only soaps that she really fell in love with. I think the Strike Gold Shave, Sacagawea, I think she really liked that one too. Um, when the last time I ordered Phoenix Artisan accoutrements, Douglas and Fran sent me La Serena. They sent me the shave soap and a little um, a little sample of the EDP, and my wife fell in love with that too. She took it. She just like didn't even ask. She just took it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's fine." I think it's a unisex scent, but it smells a more feminine in my nose. But I've got a blind nose; I don't really know, But it did smell beautiful, and I wasn't even sure if I would wear it because, like I said, it's a unisex. But I was leaning more towards a feminine smell. So when she just came and grabbed it, and she was like, "This is mine," I was like, "That's fine. Go ahead and take it. That's fine." Now, if it was like Irish Moose she was trying to take, I'd be like, "Oh, wait a minute here. You're not going to take my Irish Moose from me." So I didn't have a problem with it. Cool. Really? Cool is supposed to smell like a stronger Cella soap. Huh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. I probably won't get it because my Cella is still really full. And if I get another Cella, I'd probably want to get the vegan one, the green one, just to check that out. But that's good to know that they have that, though. You haven't tried Cella yet? Oh man, brother, it is good. So the saponification process that Cella uses hasn't changed for over 100 years. The way they made the soap over 100 years ago is the same way they still make it today. They haven't updated the process. They haven't refined the process. They go through a saponification process to control the moisture in the soap. It is super high performing. It is super, super good smelling. Yeah, and it's very affordable. It's not expensive at all. So yeah, if you get a chance, check out the Chala. You will not be disappointed. It's a really, really good product. In fact, in my opinion, it is so good that they haven't had to refine it, or change the process of how they're making it. That's how good it is, in my opinion. There's no reason to change. There's no reason to fix what's not broken, right? So yeah, that's probably one of my good ones is the Chala. I have nothing bad to say about the Chala. So good stuff. So yeah, what you've heard is correct. You can't go wrong with it. Really, really good stuff. Love Chala. Have to take a drink. I have to take a drink because I'm starting to get all dry mouth here. And don't get me wrong, not cotton mouth. I'm not getting cotton mouth, just dry mouth. That's funny that I say that because some people have mentioned to me, why are your eyes so red on your videos? And I'm like, I don't know. Um, I don't know. That's just the way my eyes are, I think, And they're like, no, there's something going on there. And I'm like, no, there's nothing going on there. I've got my CDL. I'm on a lottery where I got to do random UAs. So that's just the way my eyes are. There's no real reason that I could tell you why my eyes are so red. That's just the way they are. So I'm like, yeah, there's no other reason. They're just red because they're red. You can get a 1 pound brick of chala for $40. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's funny that you say that, a brick of chala, because so back in the day, I think it was maybe back in the 30s, 40s, I believe. Um, that's how the barbers would shave you. They would go and you would have your cup, right? You would have your shave mug. You would have your shave mug, but you wouldn't have it on you. You would go to the barber and you would buy this, and then the barber, he would put it up on the shelf. So when you came in to get a shave, he would say, "Okay, John, this is your cup. This is what I'm going to use." And he would go and he would knock a chip off the old block of shave soap. And yeah, they'd have bricks of soap of shave soap in the barber shop, and that's where a chip off the old block. That's where that saying came from. So yeah, pretty neat. So that just came to my head when you said a brick of chala. A 1 pound brick of chala for $40. Yeah, that's so. What is that? 16 ounces, right? 16 ounces for that $40 brick. You Yeah. How long would that last? I don't know if soap goes bad. I've heard guys say that soap goes bad, but I don't have my soap in the restroom. I'm here in the shave studio, and everything is in a dark, dry place. There's no humidity in here. It's cool in here. It's dry in here. It's dark in here. Nothing in here to cause moisture or mold or make anything go bad. I can't remember. I think it was Heiko Shaves that said that his Paraso sandalwood went bad. Um, I don't know what environment he was keeping it in, but like I said, I guess I'll find out in the future. I haven't been doing this very long, so excuse me. If something happens to one of my soaps, I will definitely let you guys know, either on a live or I'll record it or something. But yeah, I don't know if they go bad. They obviously do. Heiko Shave Soap went bad, but I don't know how long it took it, and I don't know what environment he kept it in. I guess I could always ask him. He's really good at getting back, and he loves to chit chat with people. So that'd be information that you could easily obtain. A chip off the old block. Yeah, I didn't know that either. When I found that out, I was like, "Oh, I've always heard that saying. I didn't know that's where it came from." But interesting. My son does a lot of. He takes a lot of those old sayings and he breaks them down, finds out where they came from. Another one, for example, is if you heard that somebody was gonna be a tattletale and they were gonna snitch on somebody, and they came and they said, "Yeah, he dropped a dime on him." I don't know if you guys ever heard that. He dropped a dime on him. That means he snitched on him. He told on him. My son said that originated from the payphones. Like if you seen something really bad going on, it would cost a dime for the payphones to call the cops to let the police know. So you would go over there and you would drop a dime in the payphone, and you would call the police and say, "There's an incident over here at such and such," And so that's where drop a dime. And that's the only one I could think of right now. Maybe another one will come into my mind. But yeah, my son, he knows all those sayings. He researched all those sayings, and He didn't do it for school. He wasn't even in college anymore. He just did it for fun. He just thought they were interesting. So, and they are interesting. There's a lot of old school sayings that people don't even know where they originated from, and they're super cool. Oh, he keeps it in the fridge, huh? I never even thought about that. How many razors do you own? That's funny because my nephew called me and he said, Uncle Nick, I want to get into wet shaving. So I actually just got a little box for him. I put a care package together for him with some razors, some razor blades, some shave soap, an aftershave splash, and a shave brush. So I got the whole setup for him so he could start wet shaving, which I thought was really cool. And I'm glad he called me instead of going to Amazon and buying something. He knew, call Uncle Nick. Uncle Nick will put something together for him. And he asked me, he said, how many razors do you have? And he asked me that before he asked me for a razor. And I said, well, I've got you on the phone, so let's take a walk. And let's go through the shave studio that I have here, and let's take a walk and let's count them. So I'm really, really huge. If you watch my live as far as like my shaved in tour, I've got tons and tons of vintage razors. Um, so with all of them together, as far as my modern razors and my shavettes and my vintage razors all together, I think I had 78 razors altogether. So yeah, well, like 77 or 78 now because I'm giving him one. They cost 10 cents for more than 60 years, huh? That's crazy. And now you can't even find them anymore. Now you can go to the vintage flea markets and find a payphone booth inside of a vintage flea market, It's pretty funny. I remember when I was younger, I used to use payphones all the time. I don't think they costed a dime when I was younger. I think they costed a quarter, I believe. I don't remember. It's a super long time ago. Oh, that's a good idea to put your balm in the fridge during the summertime. I didn't even think about that. Such a great idea. Yeah, because what we shave with cold water in the summertime, right? Or yeah, in the summertime we shave with cold water unless we're prone to, have sensitive skin and get razor burn. We shave with cold water because that tightens up your face and, it closes your pores and it's you're less prone to razor burn and irritation with cold water. But that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to try that. Yeah, that is pretty brilliant. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. I'm pretty sure my wife would be like, "Why are you taking up so much room in the fridge?" 'Cause I got a lot of bombs. What's funny is I would never really use the bombs. I have every time, not every time, but uh, I would say the majority of the time when I buy a soap and aftershave splash, I always get the matching balm. Not all the time, but the majority of the time. So I have a crap load of balms, and I don't always use them. And I've been using them more and more now because it's cold outside, and that's one thing about the cold is you can't tell if you have dry skin or you can't tell if you're dehydrated because it's cold. So it's harder to notice. So I try to be vigilant about staying hydrated and using my balms, in the winter time because you will dry out. Even though it's cold and you don't feel like you're drying out, you are drying out. So I'm gonna have to start using them more and more, even in the summertime. That's a great idea, man. That's such a good tip. I think I'm gonna start putting at least a couple of them in the fridge during the summertime. That'd be really nice and soothing. Turned to 25 cents in the early 90s. Okay. Okay. Well, I was already older in the 90s. Yeah, I was ready. Yeah, I was older in the 90s. So I wasn't a young man anymore. I was definitely a full grown man in the 90s. So yeah. Huh. I remember using them when I was a kid, but I don't remember. I remember being a young kid too when I was using them. I was probably maybe in my mid teens maybe. Yeah, so I thought it was a quarter. I don't remember though. It was a long time ago. But yeah, pretty interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to call my son and ask him about all those sayings. I remember he told me them a long time ago. He would say them all the time. He's been out of the house. He's a man already. He's out living his own life. So I forget what he tells me. I'm sure he'll remember though. He's got a memory like that. He doesn't forget. He's not a forgetful type of person. When he absorbs something, he absorbs it. Really smart kid. But yeah, I'm super glad that I got all this stuff. I'm super glad that I didn't go wild. I was going to get the advent calendar from PAA. I didn't do it last year. Um, Last year was very interesting with all the Italian ice cream scents. That was very interesting. I didn't do it. I think it was last. I think last year was the ice cream scents. I could be wrong, but this year sounded really really interesting also. And I just didn't pull the trigger either. I know a lot of the guys that I talk to that have YouTube channels that I usually talk to on a daily basis. They did get them, and they asked me why I didn't, and I was like, I don't know. I just didn't. I got so much stuff, and I got so much that I have planned to do. That getting an advent calendar from PAA, that's just going to add on to the mountain of stuff that I still need to go through. So I was like, I really don't need to. I want it. I don't need it. The beeper days. I remember the beeper days. I remember just chilling and the beeper starts beeping. Oh, I gotta go hit up that payphone. I'll be right back. Somebody's beeping me. Yeah, it's funny how times change. We thought that was like the best technology in the world. Somebody can get a hold of you no matter where you're at. It's pretty neat. Balm or splash first? I personally use balm first. I feel it protects the skin after the shave and creates a barrier to stop the alcohol, the splash of drying out the skin. Just my opinion. So yeah, it's all personal preference. Me personally, I like to use the splash first, especially if it's alcohol based, because what happens, this is just my opinion. What works for you works for you. That's great. But what works for me is I put the splash on first because it's I feel like it's going to help disinfect my face after the shave. It's going to help prevent any irritation, and the splash is going to dry out your skin a little bit. So then I will use the balm after the splash, because the splash does have alcohol. It does dry your skin out a little bit. I'll use the balm to moisturize my skin and to soothe my skin after the splash is done what it's going to do. And that's just my opinion. That's how I justified it in my head. That's going to work for me is I disinfect my face first and then I'll moisturize it afterwards. But there's a lot of guys that use the splash, the balm first, and that's not the only thing to think about. There's a lot of guys whose priority is the scent. If your priority is the scent, if the scent's your priority, you want that scent to project. You don't want to cover that scent up. There's a lot of guys, excuse me, there's a lot of guys that'll put the balm on first because they feel like the balm it'll suffocate the scent a little bit. So they'll put the balm on first, and then they'll put they feel like it'll drown out the aftershave splash, the scent in the aftershave splash. So they put the balm on first, and then they put the aftershave splash on. That way, it can project a little bit more. But it's all personal preference. I honestly believe there's not a right or a wrong way. It's just that disinfecting my face and then moisturizing it second. That's what makes sense to me. That's what works for me. That's what I've always done. Maybe I'll do an experiment where I put the balm on first and then the aftershave splash on second. I'm always willing. I'm always in here. I'm always willing to try something new. Because we're always learning. We're always doing stuff. I'm always in here experimenting, doing crazy stuff, and always learning. So yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong way. Just whatever works for you. I do it that way as well, but I think you are supposed to use splash first. I think that's like I said, that's how it registered in my head. You just finished shaving, you just basically took a layer of skin off, or you shaved right at your skin. You want to make sure you don't get infected, so you want to throw the splash on to basically disinfect your face, and then moisturize afterwards. And that's, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. That's just the way that makes sense in my head. So, but I'm willing to switch it and try the other way to see what that does. That's pretty interesting. And especially with you consider some of the scents of the aftershave splash. Yeah, you don't want to cover that up. You want that to project. So yeah, if that works for you, beautiful. You have to do what works for you. Yeah, your face, your rules. Yeah. And like I said, that's why you try different things. That's why you want to try different things and figure out what works for you, because what works for you might not work for me. And that's something that's repeated all the time in the weight shave community. That, this razor worked great. No, awesome. It didn't work good for me, but what worked good for me might not work great for you. You might tell me, hey, you're wrong about this razor, and maybe neither one of us are wrong. Maybe it just worked for you, not for me, or maybe it did work for me, not for you. Everybody's different. Everybody's different, and that's the beauty of it. There's so much stuff out there that there's a combination you're going to find that works for you. Absolutely. It might feel wrong. Yeah, I might try it and be like, yeah, no, I'm going to stick to what I'm doing. Because I've been doing that forever. Even before I started traditional wet shaving, when I was shaving with the cartridge razor, um, I would wait a minute, wait a minute. I don't know if I used. I almost lied there. I don't know if I used a balm when I was using a cartridge razor. I wasn't. No, okay, so yeah, I stopped myself from lying. I was about to tell a lie. I was about to say, even when way back when I was shaving with the cartridge razor, I used to use the balm last, but I never did use balm. Me growing up, we always had Club and Panade in the house. My dad used it. All the elders used it. My older brothers, everybody used Club and Panade. Club and Panade was always in the house. So that's what I used growing up. Shave. I would shave with the cartridge razor and I'd splash some Club and Panade on my face and I'd call it good. And that's the way we did it forever. That's why I was so shocked when I got the Sterling Clubman. I got the Sterling Clubman, which is an homage to the Club and Panade. And I heard some guys talk about the synthetic smell of the vintage Club and Panade, and I was like, I don't get that. I've been using that for years, and I don't get that. And then when I compared them side by side, oh man, the Club and Panade, um, it has such a strong synthetic smell, but you don't get it. You don't get that synthetic smell until you have the Sterling Clubman next to it, and then you're smelling both of them, and you're like, "Holy crap, man, that is so wild!" Now I get that synthetic smell, but I don't care. I don't mind it. I love the Club Panade. I grew up with it. It's beautiful. I get nothing but compliments at work when I wear the Club Panade. Everybody loves it. They love the old school powdery scent, the citrus scent. It's just a beautiful scent. And you will not get the synthetic from it unless you have something else to compare it to. And you're not going to wear both of them, the Sterling Clubman and the Clubman Panade at the same time. It's either one or the other. Nivea Sensitive was my jam when I used it. Man, Nivea Sensitive is so, so good. I seen it at the store and I never bothered to get it. And then I was watching Ohio Shaves and he swears by it, or he swore by it for a long time. And that is the poche balm that he would use religiously. And I was like, oh, I guess that's got to be pretty good. So I ended up buying it, and he was not wrong. It's really, really good stuff. And it says cooling on the bottle, and they are not lying. It actually does feel like your face is cooling. It's really, really good stuff, man. I was really shocked by it. So yeah, when I use like an unscented soap, or I've got a lot of vintage Avon aftershave bottles, and when I use a lot of them are really good too because they're alcohol based, right? They really don't go bad. They will go bad. Some of them have gone bad, but there's a lot of them that smell really good. And when I'm using an offset like that, then I'll use some of that Nivea, and that Nivea is really, really good stuff. I think Ohio Shaves has switched now from the Nivea sensitive skin to like a Rockwell product. I believe he uses the Rockwell post shave balm now. But yeah, he talked about that Nivea, and he still has it in his collection. I think he still uses it, not as much as he used to. I think he really likes that Rockwell stuff now. But yeah, Nivea, you can't go wrong with that. Nivea balm is awesome. You know what's funny is there's two of them. So I have this one. There's two Nivea sensitive skins. So this one is the sensitive skin. It's got the green bar right there. And then there's another sensitive skin right next to this one. It's a different formula. I don't know if it's a different formula, or this one says with chamomile extract. I don't know what the other one is, but I found it really strange that they had two of them next to each other, and both of them were for sensitive skin. And so I was just any, mini, miny, mo, and I grabbed one. So I don't know what the difference is of the other one. Maybe I might take a picture of it next time I'm at the store, and I'll let you guys know what the difference is between the green one and the other one. There's two of them that are right next to each other, both sensitive skin. So, like I said, I really didn't care which one I was going to get. They were both sensitive skin formulas. So, yeah. But he swears by them, and he's not lying. They're really good stuff. Really good stuff. Same with Thayers. I love them both. I have never tried Thayers. Everybody says such good things about Thayers, and I haven't tried it. But yeah, Ohio shaves too. Thayers. He puts Thayers on, then he puts his, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of wet shavers that use Thayers, and um, then they'll use the splash, and then the balm, and yeah, a lot of guys use Thayers. Nothing but really, really good things I've heard about that stuff. I really need to get a bottle that way I can incorporate it into all my shaves and see what all the ranting and raving is about. I got so much stuff. I'm surprised I don't have any Thayers. I should pick some up. It doesn't feel like much at first, but after a few times of using it, yeah, okay. I'll have to check that out because if it's good, I'm definitely willing to put it inside in my routine. You always have one in your den. Okay, yeah, that I don't blame you. It doesn't sound bad. A lot of people they swear by it. Your face is so soft and smooth. Heck yeah. That's what we're trying to achieve, right? That's what we're trying to achieve. Um, so somebody asked me earlier about like one of the worst razors. I the Cavine. Like I was talking about the Cavine. The Cavine company sent me a razor to review, and the first one had really bad. It was in bad shape, so they sent me another one. That one wasn't a bad shave, but that razor was so mild that I had to work quite a bit to get a baby butt smooth shave. I almost got to the point where I was overworking my face because I was going pass after pass after pass, and it just wouldn't clean me up because it wasn't efficient enough. It's super mild. It's probably the Caveem razor, the $8 Caveem razor, $9 is probably the most mild razor I've ever used, and that's why I said it was perfect for a beginner because it's not impossible, but it's almost impossible to cut yourself with that thing. It was way too mild for me. I like I said, I found myself almost overworking my face just to get a good shave. So yeah, it's not the worst. It's not the worst razor I've used, but it's the least performing razor. I like something a little on the aggressive side. That's the perfect razor for me. Something a little more aggressive. Also, weird question. Is your profile picture a rear brush you have? Just curious because if so, that's sick. I love it. So no, that's not. I wish it was a real brush. I went to this website where you can do like AI generated images, and I put a shave brush and an Indian headdress together, and I just hit enter, and it came out with like I did it a few times, so I had like think it was like three or four different, AI generated pictures that it produced, and that was the nicest one. That was the one I liked the most, so I picked that one. But no, it's not a real one. I wish it was. I wish I could find somebody that could like make that for me. So with that being said, what's funny is I go to the flea markets and I look for like Native American totem poles because I'm like, I'm gonna grab a totem pole and I'm gonna chop it up and I'm gonna make a shave brush out of it that looks almost like my profile picture of my YouTube channel. And but I'm always on the hunt for something like that. And yeah, I wish though, I wish I had the resource to make something like that. I know that I could commission somebody to, probably reproduce it, make it out of clay, and then, make a mold out of it, and then do a resin, what am I trying to say? Fill it with resin, and then, pop a hole in it, paint it, drop a knot in it. But I don't know. I just haven't done it yet. I haven't really pursued it, but it would be really interesting to have a brush. I appreciate that though. That is real cool. I would love to have a brush like that. That would be awesome. That'd probably be the only brush I'd use. You guys would be sick of seeing the same brush on all my videos. You'd probably be like, bro, use a different brush already. But it does look really cool. I really love it. It's really, really neat. When it first came, when it was first generated, that was my first thought. I was like, yeah, I really need a brush that looks like that. I've seen I've seen people make shade brushes out of some pretty wild stuff, man. And so I know it's possible. That would be really cool to do that. That would be a really, really cool brush. Yeah, I'd definitely be my favorite for sure. But yeah, a totem pole. That's about as far as the extent of my skills. Get a totem pole, chop it up, and drill a hole in it, and drop a knot in there because I can't do it with clay. Well, I mean I could, but it's not going to come out very attractive. That's for sure. But I watch, and I what's funny is I've watched a lot of those guys that are doing artwork with clay, and then putting a mold around it and doing all this artwork and all this stuff, and very, very interested. I'm not artistically skilled like that. So yeah, it'd be nice to commission somebody to do that though. That'd be super, super cool. But yeah, I really can't wait to get to these shave soaps here and make videos of them. But to be honest with you, the next video I'm going to do is the Sacagawea by Strike Gold Shave. I just posted Lewis and Clark last night. It was either last night or the night before. I think it was last night, which I've had that video recorded for. I've had it recorded for a while already. The last time I went live, um, my CapCut editing software went kaput. I had so many issues with that thing. So I actually published that video, Lewis and Clark, on my YouTube channel last night. I edited it on a different editing software. So I'm trying to learn. It's all kind of relevant, right? It's all pretty familiar, but it's a new software, so it takes me longer to edit it. But that was the first episode in the three-part series. They have the Lewis and Clark, they have the Sacagawea, and then the last one in that three-part series is the Expedition, and that was a collaboration between Frank Misa from Strike Gold Shave and Tobin Fetters Throwbacks. And like I said, excuse me, I've got the Lewis and Clark. I got that one done, and so now I need to do the Sacagawea and the third one, the Expedition. So those will be the two next ones that I do, and then I'll start getting to all this other stuff. I know a lot of people have been bugging me about doing classic razors, a series on classic razors, because they seen my shaved in tour, and they noticed all the classic razors I have in my collection, all the vintage razors. And yeah, I always get messages about, bro, when are you going to do a vintage razor? And I'm like, I will eventually get to there. One of these days, I will eventually get to it. So yeah, there's so much I need to get to. You know what's funny is I always have a plan. I always have a plan of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to get to, and I go over all this information, I collect all this information, and by the time I get here in front of the camera, it's a totally different shave, and I don't even know how that happens. Does that happen for anybody else? I would really be interested to know that. Am I different, or am I just the same as everybody else? You have a big plan, and by the time you get in front of the camera, it's totally different. The razor's not even the same. It's a totally different razor. It's just the whole thing. It's like I'm not even in control. I have a thought. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and by the time I get to it, it's totally different. But I do have a plan right now where I'm doing the Strike Shave Gold series, the core of Discovery series. I'm going to do those three. Nothing's going to change that. I'm going to do those three. So, and then after that, who knows? Who knows? The great creator upstairs is in charge, because, like I said, I have everything planned out. And by the time I get here, it's almost like he's saying, "No, we're going to do this instead." So yeah, it's pretty interesting how that works out. Every time, yeah, no doubt, right? Every time is just so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's pretty funny. It's interesting because I think that's what keeps me, so motivated, is just knowing that after I'm done recording, I'm just like, I wasn't even supposed to do that. That was supposed to be a totally different shave, and it turned out to be this instead, which is still cool. But yeah, it's just so weird, man. It's just so weird. Yeah, I love it. Got keeps it interesting. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I did want to mention something about this brush right here, this Mula Birch Shave Brush. This is the you can get this in the synthetic and the Badger. I did get the Badger. This thing is really, really rough on your face. I would recommend breaking this guy in before you use it. I did a shave with it, and I was so irritated right here. And I think it was just the hair being real. And I felt it too. I felt it really rough on my face, but I just kept going anyway. And I was like, oh, it's just a rough brush, you know. But it irritated my skin, and I got really thick, tough skin. I really don't get irritated very easily, and this thing irritated my skin. So even before I use it again, I will take it, and I'm gonna just whip up lather, you know, every single day for I don't know how long. Like I said earlier in the video, I do have a Parker that I paid like 80 bucks for when I first got into wet shaving. And that thing is so broken and it is so soft and luxurious. I'll just continue. I'll just continue to break this one in until it feels like that Parker one, because this one did irritate my skin. And I don't know if this is normal for this brush here, but this handles, oh, okay. It spins. Oh, did you guys know that it did this? I had no idea that this knot came out. Hey, this is the first time I'm learning this. I was going to say this knot is not glued in. This knot feels like it's loose in there, but it comes out. So does anybody know why this does that? Can you get different knots and put a different... Can I order a synthetic knot and put a synthetic knot in here? You can see that there's threads in there. I had no idea. I just thought this whole time, I just thought that this knot was loose in there. Huh, interesting. I just learned something in real time there. Okay, cool. Well, I'm still going to break it in anyway. I'll probably see if I can order the synthetic knot and just use both of them. I really love the synthetic knots, man. Synthetic knots are really, really good, especially nowadays. I actually used, what was it that I used? I used a synthetic knot the other day, and it had so much backbone. I could not believe that it was a synthetic knot. It actually felt like a boar bristle knot on my face. There was so much backbone. Oh, it was this one here. So it was this guy here. This is the caramel cat's, I think it's called caramel cat's whisker or something. This is a Yachi brush. This is a Yachi brush, and this thing has so much backbone, and it is super beautiful brush. This thing has a lot of backbone. It's almost more backbone than a boar bristle. I was really shocked at how much backbone this synthetic brush had. Yeah, is that shake good? Oh, it's not a shake. It's not a shake. It's Coke Zero Sugar. I was like, is that shake good? Does she mean shave or? Hey, Hope, how are you? Thank you for joining me here. It's awesome. But no, it's not a shake. It's a Coke Zero Sugar. I got a little bit of a dry mouth, so I've been taking little sips here and there. But I wish it was shake. That actually sounds really good. It was actually nice and warm today. I think it was like in the upper 40s. So at work, I had the doors open, I had the windows open, the garage doors open. It was beautiful today. So I was like, yeah, it's getting hot in here. I'm opening up all the doors and all the windows and whatnot. I had the breeze going through. It was nice. I was wondering the same thing. Yeah, I thought so too when I seen that. I was like, is that shake good? She meant shave, right? We're talking about shaving stuff, but yeah, that's what you meant. My drink, yeah. It's pop. It's soda pop. I wish it was a shake. That sounds really good. Firepower for all. Hey, Bob, how are you, brother? Thank you for joining, man. I really appreciate it. 55. So, are synthetic your favorite types of brush versus Badger or boar? It really depends on what I'm using. Synthetic, I like synthetic because I almost want to say yes because of the versatility of the synthetic. The synthetic especially nowadays, they make them so well. A synthetic works good for both soaps and creams, or in between a crope, a really soft soap. They're just so versatile. Um, but there's pros and cons to all of them, right? Like the board brushes. I think I have more board brushes. No, I'm lying. I have more synthetics, but I love the board brushes because they have so much backbone, and you can condition them. You can break them in and make them so soft. Don't be deceived by how hard they are when they're dry, because they can be really stiff and scratchy when they're dry. But once you warm them up and get them wet, they're so soft, so luxurious. But I think the backbone on the boars work really good, especially for like hard soaps. Like if you get like a Colonel Conks that is really hard, it's the glycerin soap is really hard. It works really well for that. The Badger brushes, I think, in my opinion, the Badger brushes work really good with creams. And the Badger brushes just hold so much water. They can actually feel really heavy in your hand because they hold so much water. Um, I use synthetics for a really long time, and then I use the boar brushes, and then I put a badger on my face, and I'm just like, wow, I forgot how luxurious a badger brush is. So there's pros and cons. There's pros and cons for all of them. Badger brush definitely holds a lot more water. It's really good at whipping up, excuse me, a really nice lather with the creams. Boar brush has super stiff backbone that allows you to exfoliate your whiskers, and then you can back it off and you can build a really good lather with it. And like I said, the synthetics, they're just versatile. You can use them for soaps, creams, cropes. They're, yeah, just whatever works for you. Me personally, well, I love all of them. I love all of them. I'd gravitate to a certain one depending on what I'm using. Um, a hard soap, definitely the boar brushes. Creams, definitely the Badgers. But if you can't make a decision, grab a synthetic. You can use that on anything. But they're all really good. And yeah, I'm a sucker for shave brushes. Some people are suckers for soaps. Some people are suckers for razors. They can't have enough soaps or enough razors. I can't have enough brushes. They're just so beautiful. I love my brushes, man. Yeah, that's my weakness, shave brushes. Yeah, it's really hard to compare those brushes because they all have their good and their bad. Oh shoot! I just got a message saying that my battery was at 5%. So I guess I gotta call it quits. That's weird because I had a full charge when I first started this live. But yeah, I don't want it just to end on us. So I guess I better call it quits because my battery's going to die. That sucks. I guess it makes a big difference too because I'm using this new microphone and it's got LED lights in the back. So as soon as I plug it into my phone, the LED lights come on, which make no sense. Don't need LED lights on a microphone unless you're doing a podcast and it looks good on camera or something. But other than that, they're kind of useless. But I guess I'll wrap it up. I don't want the phone to turn off right in the middle of the live. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I love chit chatting with you guys. Again, I apologize for being a little bit late. My wife was just sitting there just chilling, and I was like, "Hey, let's go get something to eat." So, thanks, brother. You have a fantastic night too. Yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, I just was like, "Let's go get something to eat. I'm going to take you out to eat." And so I got here a little late, but hey, I still got here. Better late than never, I guess. Next Tuesday at 5 Mountain, I'll be here again. 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be here again. So, all you guys that are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your support. It makes the huge difference, especially with us small channels, that are just starting out. We're just educating ourselves, just trying to get better. This community is so awesome. The guys that have been doing it for years, they're they're so supportive. Just the whole community is so supportive, and just people in general, just they are interested in this subject. They're just all so cool, and my channel's growing, and it's because of you guys. It's definitely a blessing. I definitely appreciate all of you guys. That's why I always give away stuff on my channel, just to pay it forward. Um, Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to do. I love it. I get so excited when I'm getting ready to do a giveaway as far as just announcing it and then picking the winner. Oh yeah, I definitely get a rush out of that. That's so awesome. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it quits there. That way this phone don't turn off on us. And thank you guys so much. Next Tuesday, 5 Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be here. So you guys enjoy your night. Have a good rest of the week. Tomorrow's hump day. Just get over that hill. We're going to be going towards the end of the week and then the weekend. And I got 2 more weeks of work, and then I get 2 weeks off for Christmas and the New Year. So I love having a government job. It's awesome. So anyway, good night, guys. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. You can also go follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I got a little bit of content there too. So hey, you guys take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys next time. God bless. Thank you again. I appreciate you.